Alright, so let's just see where my hand is. Okay. So I haven't been able to open this with one hand. Oh, there we go. See, look. Wants to raise, still raising. Right, still raising. You might have stopped now. Yeah, I think it stopped, but this thing was really, when before I flipped it, like gave it a shake, it would have pushed everything out because there was so much CO2 on the bottom. You know, just look at that, see? And so, but I did a couple of these, which redistributed it all throughout the whole thing, and then I opened it like that. Made it much better as opposed to me opening it right away, and all the CO that's been trapped down here pushes its way up and pushes the stuff out from it as well. Definitely not something that I want. I always get worried about this one. The bottle's a little different. Ooh, it's got some pressure though. This one would be nice to take a stick into and give it a nice shake. I feel like maybe it's just broken stuff down, but it feels like it's lost some liquid maybe. It used to be a little bit higher than that. Maybe it is breaking down just into the CO2. CO2? Oh, is this one rising? I think so. I don't know, maybe it stopped. But it also had a whole bunch in there. This one's a nice color too. See that green color? It's nice. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice green. No, I like it though, and they don't smell as terrible as they used to, so that's good. It's still not pleasant, you know, like, but it's not terrible. It's almost at the fertilizer stage. So now what I'm going to do, two things I'm going to do. One, so what I do, I don't know if you can see it or not. So I take my buckets, and I'll either fill up some water in it, or I will not fill up water and I'll just catch the rain. I have my little wasp prep, and I have these that I've been using to catch water. And then I take the water and I'll dump this water into the bucket here. Not too much in it today. Oops. Shot out of there. It's funny. I'll show you right now what I do. This little wasp will leave. There we go. So this, thankfully, works out nicely. It's the perfect size. Doesn't spill out the sides, even if it's full. Man, my eyes are like closing. It's really tough in here. Jeez Louise. I don't understand why. Like, to a degree, but I don't know. I'm having some weird dreams right now. Sorry. bad headache. I'm gonna have to stop for a bit. Sorry about that. I was having a little bit of a headache there. Just had to regroup for a second. Okay, so kind of forgot what I was doing there. But yeah, so I take my water from here, I fill it into my bucket, and then what I do with my bucket is two things actually. I get a stir stick. So I can just kind of stir some of the stuff around. Because as you can see, it's not all broken down. This is not that it's meant to be. This is just something that I've been thinking of doing recently, and so I was just trying to think of how can I basically catch two birds with one net type of thing. So in this case it has to do with fertilizer and compost and compost tea and stuff like that. So this is compost tea right here. This is basically just water with some dirt in it, anything that might have been sitting in here, you know, that's kind of like broken down over the past like week or few days or however long it is that I empty it. And sometimes I'll even take my little broom and I'll sweep up some of the stuff like that's fallen off the pepper plants, like all of the all the flowers that fell off or didn't take. And most of the time I just put those back into the peppers, or into the pots I should say. But sometimes I'll just take it and I'll put it into something like this. My reason being is because I'm going to put it into a container which I'm then going to pour on top of the pot. It's just going to end up going there anyway. So at least in this way it kind of breaks down a little bit beforehand. Definitely not fully, but just softens it up. Maybe adds a couple chemicals. It basically gets the process started, you know. Yeah. So there's quite a lot of like leaves and flowers and stuff like that in the area here. So, oh geez, oh whoa, that's a really yellow. I gotta show you this side zone. So I've been noticing there's a couple things going on with some of my plants. This one's got really yellow leaves at the bottom here, and I'm hoping that it's not from like a nutrient burn or something like that. It could be, because there wasn't as many yellow ones as there was the other day. And the reason I say that it could be is because the other day, so this was even lower. The level of dirt was even lower. The level of soil, I should say, was even lower. So what I did was I removed the mulch from the top, and this was the same day that I was up potting that tomato plant there. And then so I removed a bunch of the mulch, and then I added some fertilizer to it. Which one was it? I forget the name, but it was a 5-10-10, I believe. And so I put that on top, and then I added the remaining dirt from our bag, and then I added the mulch on top, which was too much. I kind of wish I filled it up more, closer to the top of this pot. Oops. Because I feel like it could use that extra little bit of love and support there. Because it's just, like, look at this thing. It's doing exceptionally well, and I really want it to have, like, you know, the absolute best life it can have. And I want it to get all the way up here to the top, then we can start going out sideways, stuff like that. So maybe it's just, maybe part of it is me, because I'm it's being a little too, there's not enough airflow, but there should be. It's not that dense, it's definitely not that dense. But yeah, it's because it's lower leaves as well. I feel like I could probably take some of them off, but I'm just a little nervous at the same time. I don't want to take off too much stuff that would be potentially unnecessary. Especially because I want to see if some of it can grow back, can go from yellowing to back to green. Obviously, in a case like this, where it's gone much further past the stage. So, but that's what I'm gonna try to do. And then we have another one over here. It's got some yellowing. It's so blurry. There we go. And basically I'm gonna do the same thing over there. But everything else looks pretty good. This one had a bunch of flowers that didn't want to be taken. They were falling off as well. It does have a lot of fruit on it, so it's not a terrible thing to lose a bunch of the other flowers. But at the same time, I do want to make sure that it's not an actual issue with the plant. So I'm pretty excited. There's just so much. Tabasco's doing really well. This Armageddon is doing extremely well. Like, look, you can see the color starting to come. They look all bumpy and scraggly, like they belong in a witch's cauldron or in her I don't know what you'd call it, studio, in her space, right? So this Tabasco's got some great side branching going on here. It'd be nice if I could get it a little bit pulled a little bit further. Maybe I just might have to reposition the plant. I might actually do that. I might go through and move them all around just so they can all get different, so they're not all stuck to the exact same cycle every day. It's nice sometimes to change it up. Look at that, too, just fell right off. Sriracha is again doing really nice. As you can see, there's tons of peppers there. I showed you the habanero orange already, which is doing exceptionally well here. The demon red, which is just like next level. This has definitely put out the most. Oh, we got our first ripe one. Oh, almost ripe. Look at that. Look at that. And another one in there. Sweet. Okay, perfecto. Awesome. I'm really pumped to try one of those. They shouldn't be too hot, but because it's so small, I'm hoping it packs like a nice bit of heat. And also, it would be nice if I take some flowers from some of these plants, and if I pollinate these ones with it, that way I can try to get the breeding. I would love for this plant, because it puts out so many peppers, but it's a dwarf. It would be really nice if it could like kind of get some of the other attributes from the other plants. Like, I would like it either if it, two things, either one, it produces an insanely hot pepper on such a small little thing, so if I can get the heat raised, that would be great. But the other thing was to see if I can just actually get it to be able to grow bigger, so it's not an actual, because it's a dwarf pepper plant right now. And so I was wondering if I can kind of just get it to grow a little bit bigger. Basically, I like the size of the peppers and stuff, but it would be nice if I could, get it to grow on a on thicker branches that are could be really sturdy, and that could put out some, great peppers. I got faith that it's gonna be a great season though. So yeah. Also, just before I get too carried away here, these are srirachas here. They're not srirachas. These are red cayennes. There's a lot here. Some of them should be starting to ripen soon. This is the Hungarian wax, which, as you can see, has tons of flowers in here, so many. But I had to cut this plant back quite a bit. It had a little bit of a problem, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about these peppers. I feel like I should have removed the peppers and hit it with the nitrogen to get the plant to grow bigger, because right now it is just a little tiny plant. And that one was given to me, and it's had a lot of issues so far. This one was also given to me. This is the lemon drop, and this one I'm really excited for. Hopefully the peppers are yellow, like it said they were supposed to be yellow, and hopefully it has like a slight citrus taste to it. Look at the little spider I almost missed. I almost squished you there by accident, obviously. Damn, I'm really tired. Blueberry cherry tomato, white cherry tomato. The ones in the smaller pots are just regular tomato plants. I don't know exactly what they are. I just know that they're a tomato plant from a tomato that I got from the grocery store, from the food bank. I took seeds out. These are the Ristra cayenne peppers. This is the Ristra cayenne hybrid. So it's gonna produce much bigger peppers. Let's go around this side here. Look at that thing. That's a huge pepper. Jesus. It's gonna produce, that's freaking huge. Huge peppers like that. As opposed to the other one, which is a little more like a cayenne that most people are familiar with. This one's the bicolor cherry tomato plant, as I've shown you a couple times already. And then this one is the Armageddon, which is like, just look at that. Oh yeah. This is the UK's hottest commercial chili. And when you taste it, you can definitely tell why. It tastes amazing, but it is very, very, very hot. Yeah. And then we got another blueberry cherry here. And then somebody gave me something like a bok choy. So I took all the leaves off already, except for the ones that you see. They've grown quite a bit already. I was thinking maybe I could put that in a new pot. Maybe something, just get a little better of a setup going, although it's not the end of the world. It's kind of doing what I want it to. Oh yeah, it's got the roots in there, you see. See if I can get a good view. There we go. It doesn't want to give me a good view, but yeah, some roots in there. Oh geez, we got one of those little guys in here. Oh, two little guys. So that, which, jeez, didn't. There's a huge root behind it, and then look at what we got in there. This little guy. We need to remove it. So I'm gonna get a stick to remove that one with, and then over here we have some. I think these were tomato plants in some of these tomato plants that I got. So I took them out of there, put them in its own little pot to see kind of how it can grow, see if it can do anything. And they're definitely growing, but look, there's also that really neat, the moss in there. It's like its own little valley. It would be sweet if I could make, or whatever you want to call it, but it would be sweet if I could get them to grow tomatoes, and it'd be like these tiny little tomatoes, basically the same size as the plant, or ratio wise, you know. So, yeah, and the dill's doing really well. Still wondering if this is a spider or if it's an orchid. I think it's a spider, but I could be wrong, I guess. Then we have some sort of pepper plant here, not sure what kind. Just going with the flow to see if anything ever comes up with it. These are onions. These are definitely from the food bank onions. This was the sage on this side, which I'm gonna actually look at it today and see if it didn't take. I'm starting to think it didn't take, which is unfortunate, but I'll have to look at the roots to know for sure. And then the dill's doing really well. It's seeded up top, which is great. This was just, I saved it from, I think it was from my parents' garden. This is a wild radish here, which is, again, just doing so great. Like, I'm so excited to see what that does. I have no idea what it tastes like or anything. And then these three, as you're familiar, are my apple trees. And I definitely think I should have up-potted them a while ago, but yeah, I'm just kind of going with the flow with it. They've kept a pretty solid level of moisture, so I was thinking hopefully it would be nice if I could kind of reduce that moisture and yeah, well, yeah, sorry, I just kind of drifted off there. I forget what I was saying. I'm really tired today. And then this one, I forget what I put in here. There's been a couple different things that haven't taken. I think there's a chance that there might be a peach pit in there. So, yeah, we'll just have to find out. Anyways, that's my little tour for now. Definitely a little longer than I expected it to be. There's lots of great peppers, though, coming along. So, yeah, thank you for spending the time with me, and have a great day.